This room is an absolute mess. Let me show you. So here it is in its almost entirety. My games room slash collection is currently an utter mess. In my little shed of dreams, or ruins, whatever you prefer, we're trying to go for a major restructure in here and a reorganisation. Now, to be fair to my wife, she mentioned that I have a dedicated space to put my things and my stuff, but she doesn't, and I took a second to think about that, and she's completely right. For a long time now, her desk and her any bits and pieces that she has, her stationery and planning and all these washi tapes and bits and pieces that she enjoys, it's all either been in a child's bedroom, shared in a bedroom with them, or in the front room on the lounge. So it makes sense that I should dedicate half of my tiny little wing shed, which is about 3 meters by 2 meters, I think it is, into something that she can enjoy as well. And hence the mess. And as we aren't particularly good at forward planning and that kind of stuff, I'm going to try and briefly explain how this did look. It hasn't been a mess like this for a very long time. This year I kind of got my act together, said, right, I want something that was a bit more presentable. I'm going to get a chair in here, bits and pieces, and it's going to look a bit nicer, a bit more presentable, and hopefully towards the end of the year we can actually get a space where myself, my wife, or the children come in and they can just chill out, whether they're watching something on the TV or whether I'm going to play some games or just sitting in here with me whilst I'm doing something. And that's a place that everyone can come and they can feel comfortable to come in here, not just come in here and be overwhelmed by stuff and rubbish and whatever someone else might want to call it. One man's treasure is another man's trash, that kind of thing. So let's try and go over what it used to look like. So what originally dominated this room was two incredibly tall IKEA units that went up to essentially the ceiling in the shed. And they weren't particularly wide, but two thin units that were, well, taller than me, so we're talking about 1.9 meters. And they went to the ceiling and they were imposing. They were kind of a dark wood, which doesn't really suit the aesthetic that we're going to go in for here, whether it's going to be white, black, greys, that kind of stuff, you know, the modern take on what is nice to have. And I just got rid of them. It's all the stuff in here is all essentially pre-used stuff from the house, which doesn't get used anymore. So desk, drawers, that chair is probably 20 years old from when my parents bought it new. CD racks from a charity shop. This rack was again £3 or £4 from a charity shop, and it swivels and stuff. It's all just cheap stuff that I put in here to make it somewhat more comfortable and have somewhere to display and put stuff. But ultimately, when you want to make it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, or someone who has a bit more of an eye for these things comes in here, they go, what the hell was this hodgepodge? I had some plastic storage tubs right about here, kind of white tubs. Over here, some very cheap pine effect shelf that went up to floor to ceiling. Obviously a cream chair, and then these dark wood IKEA units, black drawers, white table. It's all a mess and it doesn't fit together. There's probably a word for it in the interior design world, but yeah, essentially the room didn't fit together whatsoever. So I've moved all that out. I've emptied tubs, I've emptied shelves. I've taken essentially all of these games off, and this is probably about half. All these games off of just the tool units alone. And whilst I've been filling plastic storage tubs and essentially for now throwing them in the loft, I really have found out how much I have. I know to a lot of people, some videos that I watch, this collection is minuscule. It's nothing really at all. And as I say, it's probably about half of it. And this is basically 360 and PS3 that's left in here. I've got PS2, Wii U, Switch, bits and pieces like that. And that's all in the loft for now, just been shoved in there. And whereas I might have thought that it'd take 3, 4, 5 plastic storage tubs, varying sizes of course, so it does make a difference, it's taken a lot more than I thought it would. And it's funny how expensive they can get when you just end up buying these tubs. my next step is going to be getting a lot of all this loose stuff. There's some games there, but loose figures and bits and pieces, taking it down from the shelves and put it in some more plastic boxes, just to get a lot of the, for now let's just call it clutter, but forget a lot of it down and out the way, as well as obviously clearing the desk, because there's just stuff all piled up on the desk. Get that tidied and much more clear, again for now, so that my wife can come in here, she can sit down and she can start putting some of her bits and pieces wherever she wants to put them. And in an effort to make her feel like she has some space that is hers, and how she wants to, she can do whatever she wants with it essentially. But I know that it's going to be nice and neat and tidy, and it's all going to be pleasing to the eye, so it's of no bother to me whatsoever. So that's the next goal. And hopefully I hope to upload a video in a week or two or whatever, where we've made a decision, there's a bit more progress in here. Working full time, having children, all that kind of stuff is slow progress, and I'll be uploading videos as and when I can. As I say, I'll be uploading videos as and when I can over the next few weeks, possibly a few months, and it'll be what it is. I hope to eventually find a schedule, whether it's a weekly upload on a certain day or whatever it might be, to anyone that wants to watch. At the end of the day, I'm just creating content, I'm cataloging or archiving what I'm doing in my life that is of interest to me, and if it's of interest to anyone else, then hopefully they get something out of it as well. Obviously my little shed, it's the smallest little shed with the smallest price tag attached to it that at the time we could afford, and there was no this is the plan for this, therefore I need something this big. It was a case of there's a little bit of money left after we bought a house for mortgage and done the house up. There's a little bit left, maybe I can get some sort of man cave outside, and our neighbour's got like some sort of fully done, boarded, painted bar, and he told me it cost like 15 grand or something, and I thought, wow, it's really cool and it looks great. It's not something that I'm going to be able to afford anytime soon. So here I am in my little eBay shed that some guys turned up one day and put up in about an hour, and I've put some cheap ply on it, I've painted it, insulated it, put some carpet down excess from the house, and just made do with the little bits and pieces that I've come across, let's say, whether it's a boot sale or charity shop, whatever it might be, I've come across. I've attempted to furnish the place and make it somewhat more presentable, somewhat comfortable, currently comfortable for me to come, or one of the kids to come in here and just sit with me whilst I'm doing something. Going forward, a shared space, still somewhere that someone can come out and sit and do something, or chill out and play games on TV or watch something, whatever it is, whilst someone's also sat at the desk. So it can be a shared space where we're comfortable and we could actually spend a little bit more time out here, rather than just saying, it's cold out there, which is a very valid point. It's very cold today. I came in here, it's lunchtime, it's sunny, but it's 5 degrees in here and it is cold, hence you can probably hear a fan just over yonder. I've got a little portable fan going. Thankfully I do have electric in here, no main lights on the roof or anything, but we do have electric points, something to do with if you have a main light you need an additional fuse box, whereas if it's just some electric points you can run an armoured cable from the house and it's okay. It's all okay, it's all good. So again, we're limited in terms of light in here, and I hope to, once I get to know what I'm doing a little bit more, whether there's any editing involved, because essentially I'm an idiot with a camera at the moment, a phone camera at that, so bear with me. I'm just going to see how it goes. It's going to be an absolute nightmare editing this little video together with the snippets I've recorded, because I have no idea what I'm doing. There's no real script, only plot points. But to surmise, introduction to something I'm going to try my best to keep going. Whether that happens or not, I don't know. But at the end of the day, I'm not beholden to anyone, or any deadlines, or any schedules, or anything. I'm just trying to archive something that's cool to me. And another step in our little journey to share some nostalgia, growing up in the 90s and the thousands and whatnot. I'm going to aim to purposely keep this kind of introductory or initial videos or progress videos of this shed as brief as possible, probably around the 10-15 minute mark maximum, because essentially when I'm watching videos I want to see the content itself, or what you found, or you picked up, or some CEX lotteries or whatever it might be. I'm there to watch that. Whilst I enjoy watching some more of the, oh, I've had to move this round and this, that, and the other, it's a bit like, okay, fair enough. It's obviously secondary. It's something that's happened because you needed it to. So I'll keep these relatively short before trying to focus on some sort of content. And the first thing that I have got a few games that I've got delivered today. That'll probably just be in a separate small video, just to put some stuff out early doors to get a feel for what I'm doing, and for anyone that does watch, if anyone watches, to get a feel for who I am, what I'm doing, what I'm collecting, what the games and goals are for myself, as well as the channel, and to go from there.